I believe you believe in Africa, no Pan-Africanism, all that, but we cannot deny the fact that there is corruption and there is a social class. Those are there. We have heard them right from the day we were born. I think that we have heard enough of those, and we should also see the other side, which are the advantages that we have, which I think we should also be talking of them, because every community, every continent, every country has advantages and has disadvantages as well. We have overblown the disadvantages so much that preachers are praying for people to get visa, and it's a blessing for you to get visa and move out of your own country. You know, it's you know, if they play football here and they play football outside, when they come, they are more honored and they are more respected. If you're a doctor and you practice somewhere, you come here, you're more, you know. So these may be facts, but they have also put us down big time. They have also made us not believe in anything at all here, and I think that is dangerous. It is dangerous as to us as a people. It's even tend to be something that we should not even look at. So these are some of the advantages that I think we have. We have a people who are very sociable and communal. Africans can meet and crack jokes from the word go. That is a good advantage. You know, there may be some kind of disadvantages somewhere, but it's good for you to meet human beings and greet them and laugh and smile and not be suspicious so much. And that you can see, at least in my country, in Ghana, where you can just strike any conversation with any stranger anywhere and talk and laugh and smile and crack jokes. I don't think that is bad 100%. I think there is some good sense of brotherhood in that. There is some good sense of humanity in that, for you to meet somebody and not be so cynical and not be so doubtful and not be so fearful, but you can crack jokes and smile no matter even their tribe. You know, we have done a good job by having different kinds of tribe living together as well, because the tribes have different cultures, but we have lived together and we are not killing ourselves, you know, so to say. So I think that is a good advantage for us, and we have strength. It could be physical, but we also have mental strength, because if you see the kind of pain that people get to put up with every day, you can see a young girl who puts some kind of banana on her head trying to sell that all day. That's for me, even though that is not the kind of business that I think is good, but the fact that somebody can be that hopeful and say that no, I cannot live here like that, I have to do something for myself, and she organizes something, puts it on her head and starts to move to sell them, that is strength. That is a big strength. For a young man to go on the street to say that I want to take things from the city and I want to go into the traffic and sell, that is somebody who wants to do something for themselves, you know. And you can see a lot of that across everywhere, where people are hopeful in spite of all the challenges. And I think that is some kind of mental strength, that is also some kind of physical strength as well. And so we have this. We only have to channel them well, you know. We have to channel them well. If you go to a lot of, you know, people are hopeful to go to university, to get a better job, to get a better grade, to go for courses. You know, people are trying to update themselves all the time, and you see that across Africa, everywhere. And those are advantages. Those are advantages. So the hope that we have in ourselves, the strength, the energy. We are humorous. We crack jokes. You know, we are easily open to strangers. You go anywhere and people can easily open their door and say and tell you that please come and sit down, you know, and they can track all kind of history and find some common link and discuss things with you. Those are advantages. Some places they have to go and see a therapist to get that kind of communication, you know. So we cannot just overlook these things because there are other problems. I think these are good things that we have to look for, and we should appreciate that we have some of these things, you know. And so the other things that I will look for is that the things that we hear all the time, we have resources, and that's why people continue to come to Africa. We have resources. We have all these things that we continue to hear, or the natural resources, and we have the human capital. A lot of our population is in the youth. You know, a lot of our population are less than 35 years, you know, big percentage. And Africa is over 1 billion. you know, and for the next 30 years, we are going to even multiply, or maybe by 2 or 3. These are things that Africa has. Those are prospects, because if you have population, you have advantage. You know, there's a lot that you can do if you have population. So these are all things that we have to look for. And our people can, if you look at it, we can adapt to any lifestyle quickly. You know, we can adapt. You can see us go to any country and we are able to work hard, work well, put up with pain, put up with all the unnecessary harassment. We can adapt. And that is strength that we have in ourselves. You know, the prospects of entrepreneurship is enormous, or they are enormous. You can see, you can start business anywhere without even any regulation. You can operate your business for a while before you even go anywhere to talk to anybody. And anybody at all can start to put up any shop anywhere, start farm anywhere. Our land is very fertile. There are a lot of things that we have going on for us. We are only not looking at them well. You know, so, and you meet a lot of Africans, whether they are Christians or Muslims or any other, we tend to have belief in another being, which is God. And that is also a good thing for us, that you are not saying that there is no God. That makes that does not add up to me in a lot of ways. And for the fact that you can have a lot of people believing that there is a supreme being somewhere, whether it's God that you call for the Christians or the Muslims, that is a good thing. And that is something that we have been born into, which has also in a way helped us to relate to humanity in a good way. So we may have to channel these things in a more mature way, but at least we have the foundation. We have the basis, you know, we have the basis. And almost every sector of our economy, there are a lot of prospects for us. A lot of prospects for us. So you don't just have to talk about all the negatives, about all the corruption, about all the stealing, about the diseases, the sicknesses, about the illiteracy, the children not going to school. There are a lot of other things that are also being done, and that are being done well as well. You know, at least we have changed elections for how many times without going to war. That is good. Some of them were so critical. We cannot just overlook that, and yet when there is anything which is negative a little, we want to blow that. I think that has not helped us so much. Because you are quick to talk about your negatives. You are quick to talk about your disadvantages. You are quick to talk about the things that work, that don't work in Africa. But you are not prompt to talk about the things that worked. That is a wrong program. That is a bad perspective. That's a bad thinking that a lot of people have copied. You know, and it's a conditioning. Said that you are easily to compare yourself to other countries and say, this one, if it were in Singapore, it will never be done this way. But in Ghana, we do things anyhow. But how about the things that we have done well in Ghana? Why don't we also talk about them? Why do we trivialize the things that we have done well? You know, and I think that the more you continue to talk about your advantages, the more you're helping a lot of people to see prospects and believe in themselves. And see that it is also doable. Because when you continue to cast a spare, you continue to talk about all the negatives, people tend to here, you know, and the more they don't believe in anything here at all, then desperation comes in. Then they have to find any way to lie. They have to find any way to cheat. They have to find any way to do, because they don't get to hear all the prospects. I remember there was a time that I was watching TV and there was this foreigner, I think she was an African American, and she was saying that what I like about this country is that anybody at all can start any business anyhow, anyway, and you can see businesses anywhere. And for her, it was very impressive that anybody at all can open shop and start to sell something without a lot of regulations. We have not been thinking of it that way. We think that they are just opening kiosks everywhere and it's a disadvantage. But she was that much happy that people can easily start something and get some economic activities going on. You know, so there are ways that we can look at issues to our advantage, not just only the wrong things all the time that we try to blow and blow and blow and blow. That's why people don't do anything. That's why people are not hopeful. That's why people become so much cynical, because we tend to blow up the negative so much as Africans about ourselves, and a lot of these experts continue to do that on us as well, because those are the things that they have written in books. Those are the data that they are analyzing all the time on Africa. They're analyzing the child mortality, the maternal mortality, all those things. So sometimes it becomes so difficult for you to even talk to any of these experts about the prospects of our continent, because they are only extracting their reference point is the negative. But we don't have to be expert. If you're a young person, if you're a young woman, there are a lot of good things that are going on. Not everything is as bad, and you'll be shocked to believe that the other countries that you have seen on TV that you so much believe, when you get there, you'll fall in love with Ghana quickly back. When you get there and you see how they treat you, how they don't respect you, you will love this Ghana that you so much dislike. So I believe that there are a lot of advantages that we have as Africans. We just have to see them and polish them well, and it's not as that bad as you've been told. If you have been lucky or you have been fortunate to have gone to college here, you are blessed, because you have been given at least some tools to use your brain. Go to some other countries, a lot of people don't go to school, and it's even a lifestyle, So you see young people who are hopeful. A lot of people who are doing this masters and PhD across the world, a lot of them are coming from Africa. Go and check. A lot of them are coming from our continent. Why? Because our people are hopeful, and that is something that we can use well. Our people are hopeful. Yes, I'm not saying that there are not disadvantages. There are a lot of them. We have our own things that we have to deal with. We have to build our value system. We have to build our work ethics. We have to build the way we see life. We have to build a lot of things. But there are also a lot of good things that we cannot just push away because we have problems. And we don't let our foreigners come and talk and do all these statistics and just trash everything that we have ever achieved as a people. Because for you to have started, for instance, Ghana had independence just 60 years ago or so. And you don't maybe when they said that when we were having independence, we were just about 4.5 million people. I don't know how many of them could read and how many of them could write, and all kind of tribes that they put together to form a country. Now, how could you just develop those people's mind quickly into a developed nation? I think that somebody should have done that, but it was not that easy. And these people had been controlled by others for how many years? A long time. So for you just to have independence and then we have had a lot of coup d'etats as well. I'm not saying those are good. They are not good. But for you for us to have the network, and for us to have even come back on track and trying to build a country, democracy. You may not like the politicians, you may not like the parliament and all the things that they are doing, the ministers, but at least we are trying to build something. We cannot trash everything. Yes, there is a level that we think that we should go, and we should go quickly, but sometimes there is also that element of patience, and if you track how nations are built, it's not that much quickly, especially those of us who were not trashed into leadership, because who trained our leader, who trained our first president to be a leader? He had to learn from the job, on the job. So there is a lot that we may have achieved, which we just think that they are nothing, but they are something. The only thing is that if you are conditioned to believe that whatever you have is not good, then you tend to not to see anything good in what you have. And systematically, people can be programmed not to believe in themselves, not to see anything good in what they have. And I think that is what Africans have been largely groomed to see. Groomed to see how we see things. So I think it's about time that we start to also look at the advantages that we have. Our population is energetic, it's vibrant. Our young boys, if somebody can move from Ghana and try to go to Libya and hope that you end up in Italy or Spain, that person is ambitious. They only have to be channeled well. If you look at at if you look at the humanity that we express on our road, even though we can insult ourselves and everything, but when there's you find yourself, you find if your car gets stuck in the gutter, you see how people will just come around quickly to help you. Sometimes there will be water, sometimes there will be anything, but they will just come quickly to help you. That is humanity. That is something good. I don't think we should trivialize those things. We just have to learn how to harness those things well, because it means that we have the basis for people to show humanity like that. It means that we have basis. You see, if there is an accident or there's a problem, there was a time that there was this collapse around Achimota area. You saw that people everywhere coming, no skill, no official training, but they were able to work, and they had the heart to help their people. That is good. And so you can talk of all the negative. Okay, you can talk of maybe the soldier that we killed him for no reason, but there are 1,001 people who have also saved somebody like that, in which we never talked about. We never even said anything about them. But when we gang up to kill one soldier, you see the whole nation. And the good thing about it is that we also condemn it. But at least there are a lot of people who have been stuck somewhere that people came together and helped. And that is the humanity that we have. We have not lost everything. We have not lost everything at all. We still are very compassionate people. We only need a lot of teachings and basic, values. Even our politicians that we think are very corrupt, the fact is that when they come on air, they deny it. And that's a good thing. They don't do these things with impunity. They have some kind of respect for the population. If they use wrong ways, they come back to retract them. And that, for me, is good. We are getting somewhere. So there are things that we can learn. But if you believe that the negatives are so much and we continue to program ourselves to only see the negatives, then always is the negatives. And the more you talk about the negatives, then we tend to believe them. And then we don't achieve anything. You see most of these multinationals or these international NGOs coming to help Africa, and they use the words Africa, sick Africa, poor Africa, lack of education and all those, and they show all these kind of things on TV. How are you going to help somebody to be, or unless they are not thinking that you should be rich? But you cannot go to help somebody who you think is poor, and you are still using the word poverty on them. No, they are not poor. They have challenge. If they are poor, then when are they going to get prosperous? So you call the situation poor, I can agree, but you cannot continue to call the people poor. And somebody even call us the dark continent or something. No, you cannot help the people that you are using these words to describe. You can use them in a different way, not on the people. So Africa, there are a lot of advantages that we have, that we just have to dig them. I may have found just a few, but there's a lot that each and every one of us can see that we know we can do if we so much consciously look at these issues and look at them well. So there is more population that we have to educate, and that is a good thing. A lot of us go to school. A lot of us are very ambitious. You see young people, young parents, they are not sacrificing education for their children. No, even if they are poor, they are fighting to put their children to school, and that is a good drive for us. We can use this and use them well. If you look at the need for the jobs that we have to create, these are all advantages. They're not disadvantages. The lack of job is also an opportunity for somebody to create jobs, and I don't even believe in this international trade. What can we produce that we can send to Nigeria? What can we produce that we can send to Kenya? What can we produce that we can send to another city in Ghana? There are a lot of prospects that we have not covered than trying to send your things to America and all these areas. Cover here and build some momentum. That's how we cover than thinking of AGOA. I don't believe in all those that much. I believe in what can you do here? Can you break the trade barriers among the African nations? Because these are all prospects that our people can work on and have a better life. So Africa is not that disadvantaged as they have made us to believe. It's a condition. It's a condition, and that conditioning is coming from how we were brought up. And if anytime that the African meets the foreigner, especially if they are white, there's that subconscious weakness. You see the way they smile, the way they laugh. They can even sign documents without even asking any question. Why? Because when growing up, you saw those class of people as more prosperous, as more superior, as more advantage than you. That's why when even up to date, you see the children when they hear, "I want to take you to America," you see how they jump. Why? Where from that? It's not just that there's no poverty in America. But you tell your child that you want to take your child to Togo, they will laugh, they will smile. Why? It's a program. Yet that child can go to Togo and become a billionaire. So we have not hyped the advantages that we have across ourselves. Have you ever heard any Ghanaian calling their children another name from, say, Zimbabwe? No, but we can go to Russia and pick a name for our children. That's conditioning. We don't even look at the prospects in other African countries. Not at all. We only look for the troubles. Oh, Mugabe is not doing well, then we go for him. But when they are doing well, nobody talks about them. How about Botswana? Are they also doing badly like that? But we will hear all the A's. But the successful businesses that are being run in Botswana, nobody hears them. The advantages in South Africa, nobody hears them. The prospects in Nigeria, the things that they are doing well, we don't hear them. But let fire catches in Nigeria, the next minute is all across in the media. So that's why they have programmers. So the negative is about 99% on the African, in his own belief in his country, in his own continent, than just 1% of the advantages. And so that's why it creates a situation of desperation. It creates a situation of unbelief. And you cannot produce a lot of people who are creating solutions for their continent when they have only been programmed to be negative and feel like disadvantage. That's not how you create a prosperous continent. That's how you are going to create a prosperous country. You create a prosperous country by programming people to be positive, to see the advantages in their country. Then they can be resilient to put up and solve issues for that country. But if it's just the negative and the despair, then you will see the kind of things that are happening to young Africans, where they are ready to do anything at all just to get out of Africa. Meanwhile, where they are going to is not that as if it's an advantage. It's not an advantage at all. For you to get to Europe without any documents, nothing, without any education, and you think that you will succeed in a country that you may not, some of them cannot even speak English or speak the languages in those countries. But they so believe that $10,000 that they have been able to accumulate in a country that they don't believe in, when they get there, they will get 200,000. That's a lie. It's all program. So, and that program may be on this kind of people, say the young. The same kind of program is on the so-called elite. It's on them. It runs everywhere, and those have enforced this lack of belief that we have in our continent. Lack of belief, lack of advantages that we refuse to see. I remember there was a time I was in another country and I met this man, and he was in his 60s, and he said that he was living in Germany. And he asked me, "So what are you doing here?" I said I was in school. And then he said that, "So after school, what do you want to do?" And I said that I will go to Ghana. So wow, I wish I made that decision when I was at your age. And that's what all of us do. Whoever is from Ghana, especially those who are born here, wherever they have gone to, they are always looking out for the prospects here. They are always looking at what is moving on in Ghana. What can we do? Is there any advantage? Why? Because you were born here. So you better fish for the advantages. Wherever you are, they will ask you, where do you come from? So you better look for the prospects here, and let's broadcast those prospects than just always talking about just the negative, the bad. That's not how you build the people. You should be able to have a people who believe in this country, in this continent, and see all the advantages. So my name is Kwabena. I'm trying to talk about the African advantage. It's not always the disadvantage that we have, even though we were programmed right from the beginning to see only the negative and compare ourselves to others with the cars, with the planes, with skyscrapers, with Harvard, with all kind of institutions. And then a lot of people even create fun when they are trying to compare schools and they are trying to compare salaries and all that. No. They are unique countries, unique continents with unique problems, both advantages and disadvantages. There's no country on this earth without problems. So why are you only talking about your problem all the time? And that confuses a lot of the young people. That creates a lot of dissatisfaction also to say, and a lot of fear about their future. Because they don't have a lot of information to compare. A lot of them have never traveled anywhere. So the program is coming from the culture, is coming from the TV, is coming from the internet, and they see all these prospects somewhere, and when they meet people who come from there, then they mellow so much because they think that those people are better than them. And that is a lie. Now, how do you get your people to believe in themselves, believe in the continent, believe in the advantages here? There are a lot of advantages here, that I can tell you. If you commit to anything in this country and you do it well, you succeed, no matter the disadvantages. Why? Because the prospects are many. And so I believe that the people can be programmed wrongly because they continue to hear bad things about themselves, bad things about the environment, bad things about the future that they have. You can condition the people to that way, through the education, through the media, through the politicians, through the religious institutions. Why would you want to pray for somebody because for him to get a visa? And what do you want to call that visa a blessing? The visa to England is a blessing, but the visa to Burkina Faso is not a blessing. Are there no visas? So it's a program, and it's a big one, and it's running well for a lot of these people. I don't think that Africa is disadvantaged and 100%, and that there's no advantage here. I don't think so. And it's not Pan-Africanism. It's just a human character to believe that wherever you come from cannot be 100% negative, and that there is some kind of light somewhere that you have to look for yourself, and find them yourself, and believe that you can find those lights. If you look around the world, the billionaires that are Africans, they made their billions here. You may disagree, you may tag them with politics and all that, but some of them have genuine businesses that they believe so much that they were going to succeed here. That's why they succeeded. If they were seeing the negatives and those that will not work, they will never have succeeded. You talk to them and you see the exuberance, the confidence that they show. If you ever hear Dangote talking, you see the confidence that he has in his country, Nigeria, and the confidence that he has in Africa. That is the psyche that you have to have if you want to succeed here. You cannot look for the negative all the time and think that you are going to succeed in Africa. It's a lie. To never work. Because those who have ever succeeded in here, they are always looking for the advantages. They are always looking for the advantages. Do they deny the problems? You don't have to deny the problems. There are a lot of problems in all these developed countries. They don't deny them. They deal with them. They solve them. But they will not sacrifice the advantages just because they have a lot of problems. So it's a conditioning. If you're a young person and you live here, don't believe that your future has to be somewhere. Then you should have been born there. Why were you born here? There are a lot of advantages here. The energy, the fact that you want to succeed. There are a lot of young people around the world who don't want to do anything at all. They are not ambitious. They say, no, I'm okay with one car and one house. That's it. And they don't even want to help any person. Now, you are ambitious, you want to help people, you want to help your family, you want to help your community, you want to build hospitals, schools, you want to start businesses, you want to become the president. That is ambition. That's what, and a lot of our young people have that. Even if they apply them wrongly, they have that. Even the armed robber is ambitious. He wants a better life for himself. The only thing is that he's trying to do things wrongly, but he's ambitious. And that is the drive that we have. And that is the advantage that Africa has. The mind of our young people. That is an advantage. They only need training. And the confidence in themselves, the confidence in the country and the prospects of our country. And that's what we have. So you cannot be looking for the negative about Africa and think that once you are looking at the negative, it means you are the expert. No, you're using the wrong data. That's why the World Bank can pick a lot of experts. They are sitting in their office somewhere and they are experts on Africa and they have never been here. I can't understand that. Where somebody is an expert on Africa, he's never been here. And he's coming from a culture that has always seen Africa as marginalized, as abject, as living in abject poverty, and he's an expert on Africa, and he's writing a lot of articles and documents and making a lot of negotiations on Africa. With this kind of background, what good is he going to write about Africa? You know? So you have people in the media, big channels around the world, the only thing that they throw on Africa is what? Is the negative. And yet they don't throw the... And we seem to believe that data they tell us. And that is a lie. That person, every statistics, every research that they do, there is human element. And that human component, sometimes, even if the statistics is for the favor of that element they are talking of, because of their prejudice from their background, when they were growing up, they will try to challenge the data that is coming out. You know, so if they believe that Africa is poor and sick and marginalized and weak and there's no prospect, and they have a data that spells very good things for Africa, no, they'll go and cross-check and deny it and come up with different things to interpret them. Why? Because they are humans. You know, so they can put a lot of lies on us, throw a lot of lies about us. Why? Because they were programmed also wrongly about us. And people tend to believe these statistics so much. No, we live here. We live here, and we know that we know what we go through. We know the cost of living. We know how much rent they pay, and we know how much rent we pay. You know, so there are a lot of things that we don't compare, just because the data they are using to teach us may be in error a lot of the times. And so, my name is Kwabena. I am talking about the advantage. You reprogramming your mind to see the advantages in Africa. Not only the bad things that you hear on Peace FM, on Joy FM, Manjo Online, Ghana Web, Peace Online. They are also the same. They are always throwing out all the TV3 is always looking for all the bad things. All the bad things. All the bad things. Thinking that when you put all the bad things there, it means that it will create awareness for the officials to attack them. Maybe. But usually they also put us down and make us feel like we are nothing and make us feel like we are so much disadvantaged. So once a while, and a lot of the times anyway, you should put out the good things about us. You know, you put the good things about us. If I meet my Chinese friends, this is made in China, even if it's not made in China. This is made in China. It's Chinese good. Chinese tea. Can you try it? They are trying to push you to to believe in their omnipotence, you know. They want you to believe that they are also the ingenuity, the Chinese creativity. They want you to accept that they also have something to offer the world, you know. And so that's the kind of mindset that we also have to have. When you meet foreigners, what can you offer beyond the smile and the dancing and the jokes? What can you also offer? You know, what is it about Ghana that you can say that this was made in Ghana, and this was beyond the drumming and the dancing? What is it? What creative product? What Ghanaian company can you say that this is a Ghanaian company that we are proud of? This is a Ghanaian technology that we are proud of. Can you push that on them? You know, so people are promoting what they have. If you meet friends from Turkey, that's what they are promoting. This is Turkish. They are trying to push it on you. If you meet those from any country, that's it. From South Africa, from Ghana, what are you also pushing on people? It's not just, it's not a Zonto. I'm not talking about Zonto. And I'm not talking about football. I'm not talking of sports. I'm talking of something that is coming from creative thinking, mind, product that are solving solutions. I'm not talking of sports. I'm not talking of music. I'm not talking of those. Those have different terrain. I'm talking of products that are solving problems, solutions. Scientific solutions, technological solutions, products that people have made here that can go anywhere. You know, those are the things that you continue to promote about your country, and they make you confident and they make you feel like everything is not lost in our country. You know, so I'm talking about the advantages. Program yourself. I may have identified just a few, but every one of us can identify a lot of advantages in our country. Don't believe the program. Don't believe the program. If you're going to succeed and you are going to be here, you must as well look for the advantages. Don't look for all the negatives. Don't look for all the disadvantages and believe them and complain about them and talk about them. No, look for the solutions. Look for the solutions, because there are a lot of solutions here. There are a lot of prospects there. There are a lot of things that people are doing. Africa is enormous. The opportunities are many for entrepreneurs. And they have got to call for a bit of confidence to look for the solutions, to look for the advantages in the economy, you know. And the fact that we all seem to believe in God is also a good thing. You only have to apply it well. But at least it's easier. I mean, I have met friends who say, I don't believe in God, I'm an atheist. Hardly would you meet an African who says that I don't believe in God. I mean, we are intelligent to know that there is something beyond us. And that's a good thing. It's a very good thing for you to meet somebody to say that I believe that life is more than what we see here, and it's not everything that is just here, earthly. That is a good thing. That's a person you can easily model to be a good citizen and a good resource for the country. Why? Because there is some component in them that connects to divinity, and that is good. We seem to be operating wrongly because the software is wrong. But at least the foundation, the basic things that we have in the humanity is there. The humanity is there. The humanity is there. We just need some few tutorials, and then we'll be fine. So Africa has a lot to offer. A lot to offer. A growing population is an advantage. A growing population is an advantage. So we should look for that. A growing population is an advantage. And there's a lot of people who are working in this so-called multinationals, or the people they call middle class, so to say. That percentage is also growing that fast. That's why you see the malls. That's why they are building all these malls. They have done some statistics on us, you know, and they know. You think that they will come and put their malls here without any people having the ability to buy? No. They did that. That's why they continue to bring to put them down. So if they are sitting in their country and doing a lot of statistics on the prospects in your country, and you are sitting down looking for all the bad things and the negatives and the things that don't work, you're lying. When you see them doing this, it's because they have done some bit of studies to know the buying power, to know the spendable capital that are going to. They have projected for the next 50 years, and they know where the prospects are, and the prospects happen to be here. You know, because here that we have got to build a lot of houses, we have got to build a lot of roads, a lot of bridges, we have got to build a lot of hospitals, we have got to build a lot of schools, you know. And once you're doing this, it means that people are also going to get revenue. And when people get revenue, what do? They spend. You know, so these are things that people have done, and they know life expectancy is going to increase for the Africans. Once the health system is managed, the environment is contained well, people have good drinking water, people have good jobs, people, you know, good roads, accidents may go down, you know, people become more intelligent. What do you think? It means there's buying power. So you better go and look for a lot of these things that they have done, the prospects that they have done on Africa. And they are good prospects. So don't sit here and be thinking that the future is not good for Africa. It's good. It's good. The population is here. The next 50 years, Africa is going to be very huge, probably the biggest continent in the world. You know, we have that potential. We have that potential to double, and if you double, you'll be more than all these other continents, and that is an advantage. Why? Because you create wealth with the numbers. You have say, and I don't think that our leaders are perpetually going to follow this kind of pattern. We will get good leaders who will lead us into prosperity, who will lead us into the things that we have so much wished. You know, so don't believe in all the lies. Even if we don't live to be in those ages, the prospects are there, and they have begun actually. Some of the politicians will come and mess up, but a lot of them will try to do good things. Rwanda is doing well. Some other countries in Africa have been doing well. Ghana is on that trajectory, you know. So people, if you look now, there's some bit of stability. Once in a while you hear some bit of offbeat issues, but largely our continent is not that bad. So don't believe all the lies. Step one, you have to ask yourself, why are they so quick to push out all the negatives about us? Is it so much that they find it difficult to believe any good thing about us? And yet, we also seem to believe all the negatives about us so much that we hardly look for the positive. And that is wrong. That is wrong, especially the people who can read and write. You look for the good things and you share them, because that's what everybody is doing. You go to any prosperous country, the average citizen believes in their country. They believe in their country, and they think that you should live in that country maybe and see how their brains work. They want to tell you that your advantage, you're blessed to be in their country. It's a belief system, so don't let that program run on you. There are a lot of things that we have done well. It's not all that bad as they want us to believe. There are a lot of things, and my name is Kwabena. I'm talking about the African advantage. Look for them yourself. You will see that there are a lot of them. So believe continuously. They can program you to believe an error about yourselves. You can also program people to believe error about themselves, and they tend to live out that error, that wrong perception that they have about themselves. And that is a lie that they have told us about Africa. That is poor, is disease, is there are a lot of literacy, and even if when you are trying to do well, they still want to tell you that you are poor. Maybe, but we are not poor, and the narratives must improve. So, and this is not just about Pan-Africanism. No, that's not about, and this is not about denial of the corruption and all those. I think we have even overhyped corruption too much. Yes, there's an issue with corruption, and you solve corruption by training people to have value system and be ethical in their dealings. You consciously have to do that. Then they will understand the consequences of their decisions. Some of them don't know the consequences of their decisions. When they are stealing the money of the state, they don't know that it will prevent that child from going to school. They think that they are building, because a lot of them think that the country is actually the career that they were looking for. So now that they have political position, they think that is some gift from God. You have to help them to think differently. Don't believe that they have all these qualifications, therefore they can think rightly. No. You judge them by their decisions. And you train people to make the right decision. And sometimes when you meet them and you're talking and they make those flimsy statements, you correct them and you tell them what you think should be done. And that's how people learn. So the politicians and all those is value system. Once some of them get the right perspective of life, and the essence of life is to add value to people, not only to your pocket. And you are not in public service to get rich. You are in public service to serve. That's the basic definition. And if they don't understand that, then that's the trouble. Then they will steal. So it's more of the person does not have any goal, any vision beyond himself in that position. That's why he's stealing, and he's short-sighted. Because he thinks that he can steal and nobody will catch him. He doesn't know that he's creating problem for himself and for his family in the future, because you cannot always steal from the people and have advantage. So those are little things that some of them are in error, because he thinks that he has followed this party. He's in power now. He has to build a house and buy a car and go to Dubai. Those are just childish play. I think we are looking for people who believe that our people deserve dignity, deserve a better work, better environment to live in. They have to live long. Those are the things that we are looking for, and that's the advantage that we have, that our people are hopeful for better life. They have not given up on themselves, So this is not Pan-Africanism, This is just human belief system, that you are not disadvantaged. I don't want to believe that because I was born in Africa, I'm disadvantaged. Because I'm black, I'm disadvantaged, I'm inferior. No, those are lies. Those are lies. Don't let anybody believe in you. And don't even loosely create jokes that support those things. No, I don't create jokes to advantage of another person and to my disadvantage. I don't buy that, So Africa is blessed with a lot of resources, but most importantly, now the best of our resources are the brains of our people. We have strength and we are hopeful people. We just have to make sure you update the content of what they are processing, and then things will be all right. So we easily even copy. We easily copy, which is a good thing. We see something that we like, we copy. We only have to have content in copying so that we can customize them for our favor. And these are things that people can easily do by themselves, even without the government getting involved. People can easily understand that if I copy something, I can customize it to benefit the community that I live in, the market that I'm looking for, and that is what is important. And the prospects of entrepreneurship are many, from agriculture to whatever. You can start anything. People can open shop. You go through town, people are the women especially. I'm so much fascinated about the women. They open kiosks every day. I don't know which statistics we have them. And if you look at those who even are doing those those people who are, I don't know the English word there, roasting the plantain, they change the business depending on the season. The next day you see that they are selling watermelon. The next day you see that why? Some people will be waiting for welfare for the government to feed them. Our people are doing everything to get a livelihood. That's positive spirit. I would rather want to have a person who wants to work for their lives than waiting for a government to give me handout. And that is Africa, where people want to help themselves work. You go to market, you see women selling. Sometimes they sack them, they come back. They sack them, they come back. They sack them, they come back. Why? Because they have strength, they have energy. They're so happy to be working in a bad system. That has to improve. And that is something that the leadership harness. You extract them to build your country. The strength, the ambition, the energy of the African is so strong. And the humanity of the African. We can meet anywhere and crack jokes and smile and be friends, and laugh. That is a good thing. That is a good thing. That is a good thing. So we cannot just trivialize some of these things. They are good. You go to any government institution, the ladies there, they will just smile with you, laugh with you, even though they want something. Beyond that, they're still human, and that's what I like. Where when people meet you, you ask them for direction, they will even get offended if they tell you and you don't take. That's how willingly we are to help. We just have to channel these things well. They are not bad at all. They are not bad. You get to the trotro and see how people just become friends and talk. How the man will just open his Bible and preach and nobody will even accuse him or attack him. These are things that we can use for our benefit. And so not everything that you see in Africa is as bad as we want to see. There are a lot that are very good. Very, very, very good. And we just have to extract them consciously. Even if the top people, the government institutions are not extracting them, you yourself can build that quality belief system to look for the advantages in our country, the advantages in our continent, the good ones that we see. So I would want to talk about the good ones more, maybe 80%, and the negative, maybe 20%, because what I'm talking about is what I'm becoming. So if I'm talking about all the despair and the waste here and this and the inefficiencies all the time, I am not going to do anything about them. But when I create the force, the positive one, I will do something about them. Why? Because it's the positivity that creates, it's not the negative. The people who are creating anything around the world are not the negative people. They are the people who see the prospects, the advantages, and that's how you condition people. The moment you see, people are poor because they can't see the prospects and they don't have the strength, or they don't believe they have the strength to create the prospects themselves. And that's the conditioning that they have done to us. So you're looking for visa to go to Canada because you believe that when you get to Canada, then you'll be amazed when you get there. That you see the Canadian, the one who was born there with all the documents, sleeping on the street. So it's you, your belief system, how you see the world. And if your belief system is intact, no matter where you are, you'll be fine. You'll be fine because it's a value system. It's a belief system. You believe that once you're present, you can create something. And that is what you get your people to look up to all the time. And so the African narratives is not advantage, it's not disadvantage. It's not at all. You see, sometimes they talk about child labor and all that. What do you call child labor? My father is a farmer. I'm helping my father in the farm, and you say it's child labor. When I finish school, isn't going to school is also labor? It's also labor. If you sit a child in the classroom for how many years? For how many hours? 8 hours, that's also labor. So if my mother is working on the market and I can help my mother for 2 hours, why you call that child labor? I don't understand it. It's not child labor. It's training. So you want that child to be 25 years before they start to work? No. The child is 18. The child is 8 years, 10 years. They can help their father on the farm, or the father is a carpenter. What do you call that labor? Child labor. As if the school, when you finish the school, you never work. So those are the terms that they have changed on Africans. And we seem to believe all those errors. And they use them against us. They are using children on the cocoa farm for child labor. You're not using them for child labor. The mother is going to farm. The child has finished school or gone to school. They are going to support the mother for a while. What is wrong with that? But they will change that to a disadvantage. And they will use that to threaten us all the time, because we don't give strong arguments. And you cannot see the positives if you don't have strong arguments. So you build up strong arguments around what you have, and that's how you see the positive. It's not just everything go. It's not just opinion. These are how the world is controlled. This is how successful lives personally are built. You build around your advantage, around your strength. If you let everybody come and take all the strength that you have, all the advantages that you have, they will tell you that you have nothing. And so our economy is expanding continuously. It's not saturated. It's continuously. It's going to expand for the next 100 years or so. So we have prospects. We have prospects. We have a lot of prospects. So look for the prospects. A lot of people are going to need education. A lot of people are being educated. A lot of jobs are going to be created. Government structures are getting better and better all the time. The value system is increasing and developing. The culture, we are pushing the culture to technology. Yes. So the prospects in Africa are many. Don't call them just the problems and look at all the problems and write about them and discuss about them all the time and not do anything. So my name is Obedako. I'm trying to say that Africa is not poor. So to say, Africa is not so much disadvantaged, and you are not going to just look for just the poverty and the negatives and believe in them. When they are even doing promotion from some of these religious institutions, churches in America, they use black child with flies around them. Those are all conditioning. So when you see the color, anytime that I see any disadvantage, I'm looking for the color, and it's always black. There's a wrong conditioning that they have put on us. And when there is a positive side, you see that it's not black. It's how the world has been programmed to see us. And we have unfortunately believe it ourselves. And we have experts who are Africans who are defending these things. And they have defended them, and the thing has not changed, and they still continue to defend them. Don't defend the negatives about your people. Change them. And those are not just facts. They are not facts. They're opinion. They're not facts. You can't tell me that they are just factual and they are not. There are problems everywhere around the world. India has a lot of problems. China has a lot of problems. America has them. All these countries have them. But they hype their advantages. So we should also hype our advantages and be in charge of them. So thank you very much for watching today. The network was really, really bad. Hopefully it gets better. But we have got to do what we have got to do. It's our continent, it's our country. We cannot stop helping our people and helping them to shift the mind, because that is the best tool, the best weapon that we have, the mind of our people. If they can believe in themselves, if they can see the positive, the prospects, nothing can deter them from achieving what God has given to them. And so thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for being with me. Auntie Sawa, thank you. Major, thank you. Silas, thank you very much. Rare Diamond, thank you for watching. Thank you very much. Thank you. Tomorrow.